Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the Horowitz Chaim's Sefer NIDCHEI YISRAEL. And we're talking about 4 different reasons why it is that a person who leaves the mother country, leaves the shtetl, leaves the spiritual insulated walls of their hometown where there was Kedusha and Tahara and shuls and chedarim and schools and tznius and Shabbos and kashrus, all these things. We're talking about why it is that when they come to places like America, where the infrastructure was not there, why they fall apart and they fall and their Torah mitzvahs fall by the wayside. Now the Horowitz Chaim said there's 4 main reasons why that happens. Reason number 1 is because even though that in the Torah it speaks about the punishments that are going to come to a person who violates Torah, they don't believe in the truthfulness of those statements, and they actually believe that they could drift away from Torah and from mitzvahs, and since that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's divine hand brought them over here to America, it must be that He wants them to do whatever they need to do, and therefore the punishments of the Torah do not apply to them. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is they're ignorant. They have their lack of observance is because they are ignorant of what the Torah wants from them under such conditions, which means in achinami, it's true. Perhaps the way that you were keeping all the mitzvahs in a place where it was easy and where everything was accessible is one way. But even when you are in the galus, even when you are traveling around, even when you are far away from the source of your Yiddishkeit, Hashem still expects that a person keeps the mitzvahs to the best of their ability, but they're not sure how to do that, and therefore they abandon it. Thirdly, as we describe, that they see other people doing the same thing. They see other people divulging themselves of Torah and of mitzvahs, and therefore they decide that misery loves company. There's really nothing wrong if Yankel over there, who was like the chosh of a person in the old city, in the old country, and today he's walking around without a beard and he's not keeping Shabbos, it must be then that it's okay, and they do not acknowledge the wrong and the bad that is being done. And fourthly, which the Horowitz Chaim alluded to yesterday, which we didn't mention, but he said there's a 4th thing. Later on in chapter 10, the Horowitz Chaim is going to speak about the fact that when the learning of Torah decreases, your attachment to the Torah and Hashem falls away and decreases as well, and that itself is a great downfall of a person in Ruchnius. If you're not learning Torah and you're not connected to the Torah, then how can you be connected to what it means to be a Yid? And therefore, those people as well will fall by the wayside of Torah and of mitzvahs and of Yiddishkeit. But now the Horowitz Chaim says, I want to go back and address the first 2 groups that we mentioned. Again, group number 1 is they don't think that what it says in the Torah, the punishments are going to prevail upon them. And number 2, they lack knowledge of what they need to do to observe the Torah under these circumstances. V'noshiv al rishon, let me go one by one to explain. You should know, says the Horowitz Chaim, ki min yetzar zeh shel kasa rishona lechadashu. This yetzara of the first group, it's nothing new. This is something that existed forever, generations back, in the days of the Chorban, the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He responded to us on the mistakes that we were making from the Yetzirah. We know what Chazal teach us, YISRAEL, at the time that Klal Yisrael is going into Galus, into the exile, there were those that wanted to come and remove the yoke of heaven from Klal Yisrael. They came to Yecheskel Hanavi. They came to Yecheskel Hanavi, the great prophet Yecheskel. And Yecheskel told them to do tshuva. V'amar lam hanavi shiachziv tshuva. He told him do tshuva. V'amar lo, he said, Eved shemacharei Rabbi, a slave that was sold by his master. V'isha sheger shebayla, and a woman who was divorced from her husband. Klum yesh lezal zeh klum. Does the master have anything to do with his servant anymore? Does the husband have anything to do with his wife anymore? They wanted to say, Shal korchacha. Kevan shal kodesh baruch hu maso isana tachas yada umais. Since that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent us away already under the hands of the nations of the world, shuv gerish isana miyais loy la'am. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says the people to Yecheskel and Navi, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu already sent us away and He handed us over to the nations, obviously He divorced us and we're no longer chosen to be His people. Okay, the rest is quite long, so we're going to stop mid-sentence a little bit over here. We'll have to come back and just tomorrow, Chazah, just review quickly what we said, and we'll see the way that the people were arguing with Yecheskel to show why it is that they should no longer be obligated to keep the mitzvahs that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, because they felt that their relationship with Hashem had ended, and we'll have to see that, of course, the relationship between Klal Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu never ends. Have a wonderful day.